Alright, you are on lesson 8.5 on inequalities. So we're going to start off with some vocabulary because you're probably wondering what the heck is an inequality. So if you look here, it says an inequality is a mathematical sentence that compares quantities. And you probably still have no idea what that means. So as far as the definition, let's start. We'll write pretty much what that said down. We'll say a mathematical. Now I'm going to pause it so I can get the whole thing written real quick. Okay, so now get that definition written down. So an inequality is a math sentence comparing amounts. Okay, get that written down, and then we're going to go over to the next one. As far as symbols. So there are 4 symbols that you're going to see in an inequality. One of them will be greater than. One of them will be less than. You've been using these for years. But there are 2 new ones. This one is called greater than or equal to. And this one is called less than or equal to. So get those 4 symbols written down. Now I'm going to give you an example of an inequality. I'll give you a really easy example that you've been doing for a long time. 4 is greater than 2. That is an inequality. Now a more complicated one looks kind of like an equation. 3 times m is greater than or equal to 6. So that is also an inequality, and that's kind of like an equation. Now non-examples of inequalities would be anything with an equal sign. So 4 equals 4 is not an inequality. That's an equation because the 2 amounts are equal. Same thing if I said 3 times m equals 6. That is not an inequality. That is an equation. But you can see how inequalities and equations look similar. The main difference is the sign in between them. Alright, on to the next page. On this page, if you look at the top, they have your symbols. So we have less than is fewer than, example. Greater than, same thing. But here we have less than or equal to. So words is less than or equal to, but you can also say is at most. For greater than or equal to, it could also mean is at least. And you would read this, 12 is greater than or equal to 9. Now, in example 1, we're going to show you how to solve an inequality. So let's start here. It says, of the numbers 6, 7, or 8, which is a solution to the inequality f plus 2 is less than 9? So I'm going to go over this one, and I'm going to tell you the big mistake people make. So I'm going to start by writing my inequality. F plus 2 is less than 9. And I'm going to test each of my solutions and see. So let me start with 6. If I put 6 in for f and do 6 plus 2 is less than 9, well, 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 is less than 9. So 6 is a solution. Now, there can be more than one solution, so let's check 7. So if I do 7 plus 2 is less than 9. 7 plus 2 is 9, and 9 is not less than 9. So 7 is not a solution. And last, I can test 8. If I say 8 plus 2, is it less than 9? 8 plus 2 is 10, which is definitely not less than 9. So in this case, only 6 is a solution to that inequality. Now, we're going to go down, and I'm going to have you try A. And A says, of the numbers 8, 9, or 10, which is a solution to the inequality n minus 3 is greater than 6? So I want you to test 8, 9, and 10 and write down any numbers that make that inequality true. So pause the video, do A. When you're done, start the video, and I'm going to go over it. Go. Alright, so I'm going to test out each of my numbers. So we have n minus 3 is greater than 6. I'm going to start with 8 minus 3. Is 8 minus 3 greater than 6? Well, 8 minus 3 is 5. 5 is not greater than 6, so we know 8 is not a solution. I'm going to try 9. Is 9 minus 3 greater than 6? Well, 9 minus 3 is 6, but it is not greater than. So I know 9 is not a solution, so it must be 10. 10 minus 3. Is 10 minus 3 greater than 6? Well, 10 minus 3 is 7, and 7 is greater than 6. So my solution would be 10. That is the answer. N has to be greater than 10. That's how you write your solution. Notice I didn't say n is equal to 10. N has to be greater than 10. Okay, so on to the next page so you can see another type of example. All right, in these, look at examples 2, 3, and 4. It says, is the given value a solution to the inequality? And here's what they have. They have the inequality, and then they have the given solution. So you're testing to see if 4 would be a solution. So in this one, if you put 4 in for x, so you have x plus 3 is greater than 9. So you test 4. 4 plus 3. Is 4 plus 3 greater than 9? So you can solve that. Is 7 greater than 9? No. So 4 is not a solution. So you could just say no for that one. So now in 13, notice it says, for this one, 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus y. And we want to know if 6 is a solution. So watch how greater than equal to works. So I'm going to put 6 in for y. So we have 12. Oops, let me put on the pen. 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus 6. So now I'm going to solve that. 12, is it less than or equal to? And 18 minus 6 is 12. Now, if it were less than, you'd say no, 12 is not less than 12. But because it says less than or equal to, you can have either. It could either be less than or it could be equal to. Since 12 is equal to 12, yes, 12 is a solution. So you would say yes for that one. Now, in 4, I'm going to have you go through the pretty blue boxes and fill these in here. So let's start here. In 4, we have the inequality. 17 is greater than equal to 11 plus x. And you are testing if 8 is a solution. So I'm going to guide you through it, and we'll see if you get the numbers in the right spot. So in the first step, it says write the inequality, which they did for you. Next one, replace x with blank. And then this number should also be here. Next, add 11 and whatever number you put here, and put here. Last, read this sentence down here, fill in those boxes, and I'll go over in a second, see if you were right. Okay, so now I'm going to go through. First off, replace x with 8. And then I'm testing 11 plus 8. Now 11 plus 8 is 19. And here it says, is 17 greater than or equal to 19? No. 17 is less than 19. So when I answer this part, it says since 19 is not greater than or equal to 17. I'm sorry, I wrote the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Since 17, got to start on this side, is not greater than or equal to 19, that means 8, remember that original 8, is not a solution. All right, now here's what you're going to do. I'm going to have you pause the video. I want you to do B. You are testing to see if 9 is a solution to that inequality. So all you have to do is write yes or no on the B line to the side or underneath. When you're done, start the video and see if you were right. Go. Okay, so I'm going to see what you did. Now, I have the inequality. A plus 7 is greater than 15, and I'm going to test 9. So I'm going to replace A with 9 plus 7. Is it greater than 15? So 9 plus 7 is 16. Is 16 greater than 15? Yes, it is. So for B, you should have yes. If you had that right, give yourself a C. Next, I want you to do problem C. So pause the video, do C, and then restart it. Go. All right, let's test out problem C. So we have to test to see if 6 is a solution. So I'm going to write it down here. 22. Is it less than or equal to 15 plus 6? So when I solve that, 15 plus 6 is 21. So my question is 22 less than or equal to 21? And the answer would be no, because 22 is greater than 21. So you would write no for C. All right, so here's your last job. Do D and E. So after you pause the video, do those two problems. Then restart it, and we'll see if you got them both right. Go. All right, so let's check out D. We have the inequality n minus 4 is less than 6, and we're testing 10. So I'm going to write that 10 minus 4. Is that less than 6? Well, 10 minus 4 is 6. Is 6 less than 6? No. 6 is equal to 6. It's not less than 6. So for D, you should have no. And last, we'll do E. We have 12 is greater than or equal to 5 plus G. And in this case, G is 7. So I have 12 is greater than or equal to, and 5 plus 7 is 12. Now remember, this is greater than or equal to. So the question is 12 greater than or equal to 12? Since it's equal to, then you would say, yeah, it is a solution. All right, so if you had D and E right, you are on the right track. Okay, now we're going to go to the last page and show you a real-world example with all of this fun junk. I mean fun, exciting math. So, I see this word problem, and you guys know what I always say. Start by looking at this chart before you read it. So I see it's something about balloon sales. They give me 4 months, and numbers sold for those 4 months. Okay, great, exciting. Now, let me read it, and I'm going to highlight some important stuff. Louisa works at a gift shop. She receives a bonus if she makes more than 20 balloon bouquets in a month. Which months, so our answer should be months, did Louisa receive a bonus? Use the inequality B is greater than 20, where B represents the number of balloon bouquets made each month to solve. So basically, we are just looking for which month was the number sold greater than 20. So when I go through here, I'm just going to ask, is 25 greater than 20? Yes. How about 12? No. 18? No. 32? Yes. So which months? I would say October and July were both correct. So that one should have been pretty easy. All right, you're done with me for now. So your job will be to finish up whatever work you have to do if you're absent and be ready to ask me questions. Thanks, guys.